There's a specter haunting Super Smash Bros. Melee. The Spectre of Kongmunism. Entering 2023, one of Melee's most written-off mid-tiers is seeing what might be a renaissance.
Basically, he's making Leffen not feel comfortable with any particular option.
Okay, this game is probably a wash.
Like,
Ringler up 2-0 and the venue going crazy right now.
The year is 2023, and Donkey Kong is on an upswing. And with the release of ranked competitive Super Smash Bros. Melee this past December, Donkey Kong's growth has become all the more visible. Shortly after Melee's Ranked Online became a thing, ranks 9 through 11 all featured Donkey Kong to some degree, with players Rishi, Akir, and Ringler all either using or maining the Ape. So is Donkey Kong just a passing fad, or is he the future of Super Smash Bros. Melee? Will 2023 be the year of the Ape? I asked some prominent Donkey Kong players this very question, and here's what I learned. In the beginning, there was Donkey Kong, a character who would be both hero and villain for Nintendo's struggling arcade business. Years later, DK is an icon of games, but in the world of Smash, DK, like other large-bodied characters, has often struggled in competitive play.
What?
I can't believe that's sweet-spotted.
Monkey is so large.
In 2002, Melee's first official tier list put Donkey Kong at 20th in the roster, right behind Yoshi, a character who, in 2023, has now won multiple majors through the work of AMSA. DK mains don't believe that Donkey Kong is quite as good of a character, nor as undervalued as Yoshi was when AMSA came up, but they do believe that he's been written off over the years, and is in a position to go from a character people pick as a joke to a legitimate threat. According to DK main Akir, this ultimately comes down to the Ape's excellent punish game.
Get fucked up! Get fucked up! Yeah, I do think DK has been, like, pretty undervalued by the general Melee population, and I think, like, his strengths as a character lend towards him, like, being better as time goes on, because the number one thing you need to have to be a good character is you have to be able to kill people off hits. You need to be able to, like, convert any sort of, like, stray hit or anything like that into, like, a meaningful neutral win that nets you a bunch of percent or a stock. And that's, like, DK's the one character that people call bad that just inarguably does not have that problem. He, like, very clearly has, like, a top tier, like, advantage state.
According to Akir, DK's qualities resemble those of another character that has now won multiple Melee majors, Captain Falcon. In the mid-2010s, Captain Falcon players facing stagnancy in Melee's meta banded together, and three players, Wizrobe, Gatsu, and Gravy, built a new playbook for the character, rooted in optimizing combo routes, tech chases, defensive play, and neutral game. This movement would be called 20GX. Much like Captain Falcon, Donkey Kong is a fast character that weighs a lot and has an amazing punish game. Enter what some have called the 20DK movement, an effort to modernize Donkey Kong play by better utilizing the character's unique attributes.
And so the problem is figuring out, okay, how do we make DK work outside of when we get hits? Like, how are we getting neutral wins as DK? How are we playing out of disadvantage as him? People are starting to do with DK what people a few years ago figured out with Falcon, is that if you're a really heavy character with, like, decent mobility and good immediate threats out, like, for, like, counter hits, you can just base a lot of your neutral around that when you're at that percent. So DK's ASDI down CC game, when he's at the percent that he can do that, which is larger than it is for most characters, is really, really good. He has really, really awesome mobility, and also just the flexibility to turn himself around pretty much how he wishes. DK's neutral B as a tool to turn around is really, really incredibly good. And I think we're reaching a point where we've solved pretty much everything except playing DK in disadvantage, which he still has tools for that. It's just a work in progress, but I think we're getting to a point where people have, like, flowcharted the neutral and such.
Some of these adaptations might appear minor, but in certain matchups, they're making a big difference.
DK's used to hate Falco because his laser turns you around and he could just spam it. DK's power shield facing towards Falco sucks. So he like lasers you and you try to like power shield it and you like basically can't do it. But past couple of years, people have figured out dashing back and pivoting backwards to make power shielding easier, because the power shield window is way larger on DK's back than his front, which has just entirely changed the matchup, because the laser is the biggest difficulty in that. Other than that, it just feels like slower Fox.
So if Donkey Kong is in fact good, why has it taken so long for people to take notice? Looking for answers, I found Da. DK main Da is the character's youngest rising star, with a technical and movement-focused approach to the character that is already seeing results. They are also the main writer of the Donkey Kong Cookbook, a comprehensive guide to modern DK play. According to that, DK is a character who has been behind in the metagame for some time, with many wrongly assuming that the character had been all figured out. DK's grab leads easily into up airs, and up airs can lead into the giant punch. For years then, Donkey Kong was defined almost entirely by a grappling-based playstyle, and while new innovations are making the character more complex, he can still get a lot out of this old-school playstyle. In neutral, Donkey Kong can perform a bit like a zoner, using spaced short hop, full hop, and instant double jump back airs to keep opponents at bay and trade with or beat out approaching hitboxes, sort of like Jigglypuff. Similar to how Samus players can use their charge beam, or Sheik players can use charged needles, DK's punch windup can be used to coax players to run in and attempt to prevent the gorilla from building up one of his strong kill options. DK's up B, which has a strong initial hit out of shield when used on the ground, can be used as an anti-air and counter hit.
Yeah, it was a weird percent. Yeah, there you'll see it.
Anytime you're hitting that shield high, just know what's about to happen.
Once his opponent approaches, DK can then go for grabs. The character can and will combo and often find kill confirms on grab against much of the cast.
Decent ways, at the very least. Because Falco.
He is like a Frankenstein's monster creation that's like half grappler, half like poor man's Jigglypuff, in the same way that like Pikachu's memed about like being poor man's Fox, if I had to say. Just envision like Zangief with like a puff head, you know.
Of all of today's active Kongs, there's one player who has done the most work to expand confidence in the character's potential on the national stage. In the jungle of Southern California, considered by some to be among Melee's biggest, fastest, and strongest regions, there is one creature that has rejected Melee's mold, finding himself ranked in a region crawling with top talent, all while playing as Melee's only great ape. Somewhere, perched in a tree, you may find the first solo DK main to be put on a Melee top 100 ballot, the Reclusive Ringler.
He's so confident with what he does. He doesn't overcomplicate things at all. I don't really get how he does it, but he just like dash dances a little bit and then he just gets the perfect opening and just does the most clean looking punish. And there's not like a lot of extra juice to it. There's not a bunch of crazy over technical stuff. He just gets the job done, and it's beautiful.
This is so embarrassing. I actually started with Smash 4, and then I played DK in PM, and
No way.
now I was too lazy to pick up Marth in Melee, and so now I'm this. Yeehaw!
He is definitely the number one DK at like putting results in like in person.
While some Kongs have focused on optimizing DK play down to a science, Ringler is a feel-based player who was molded in the fires of one of Melee's strongest local scenes.
My punish game as DK is definitely suboptimal. I'm much more about like getting my opponent in a situation where there's kind of a mix-up. Like I just try to maximize those situations as much as possible, just because I feel like I'm good at rock, paper, scissors.
Ringler will keep you honest.
Ringler
gonna
will keep you in check.
By 2020, Ringler had already distinguished himself as a player who could trounce unprepared Marths with his Kong. DK has often been considered to have a relatively good matchup against Marth compared to other top tiers, so in some ways this still didn't come as a surprise. However, when the Melee scene went into quarantine in 2020, Ringler soon became the world's most active Melee DK streamer, and unranked matchmaking gave him way more access to practice.
I think like right now, mid tiers and low tiers are better than they've ever been. It's because these guys can like finally just grind forever. Because it's like the hardest part, I'll wrap it up, but the hardest part about being a DK main is like, it's hard to get top players to play you, especially during a tournament, because it's like,
for sure,
I'm not gonna play a DK, and it's like, but I'm good, and it's like, yeah, but you're DK,
right?
And so Slippy, I've caught you a couple times, I've caught like a bunch of really good players, and just grinding unranked, like you run into a top player and you're like, okay, now what stuff am I doing is real, and what stuff is just, you know, unranked people.
By the time Super Smash Bros. Melee competition would return to the in-person space, Ringler had leveled up. At July 2021 Smash Summit 11, Mango would make history with his Game 10 victory over Marth Prodigy Zane. Earlier in the day at the same event, Ringler would win Summit's VIP bracket over a Marth who was then ranked 66th in the world, tie, winning in winners finals and grand finals against the player.
See you later.
Ringler taking the whole tournament.
In the coming months, Ringler would go on to beat Kadoran, Westballs, Zamu, Shroomed, KJH, and Bobby Big Balls. While 2 of these players used Marth, the other 4 all played Space Animals.
I just know from like talking to Ringler, like his favorite matchups are the Spaceys. I think those are the ones he feels most comfortable in.
Oh, that was disgusting. I just play for the positions where I get most of my punishes. And most of that, like against Fox, is like, I have center stage, they're in the corner, they eventually dash in and do something dumb, and I dash back, grab it.
One of Melee's newer tournament series, SoCal Major Main Stage, has been one where every year the DK main would seem to take a bigger and bigger win. In the 2022 incarnation of this tournament series, it seemed like Ringler was poised for another breakout performance. And on December 7th, 2022, his Donkey Kong would taste the nectar of the gods.
Okay, so whenever I have played against Leffen, even if it's in person or online, he never picks Fox against my Donkey Kong. Like, he will play Marth, I will bub his Marth, and he'll just laugh it off, like do the classic, you know, Leffen laugh. And sometimes when I met him on net play and it's just unranked, I would play like my secondary Fox or something like that, and we'll play against each other. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try hard, I'm gonna pick my DK, and then he just quits out, says GG, and he's gone. He doesn't feel like, or that's how I interpret it, is that he doesn't feel it's necessary to practice this matchup because the character doesn't have anything to offer.
I actually don't know how to play against Donkey Kong. Bro, imagine me jet lagged out of my mind losing to fucking Donkey Kong.
In a winner's top 64 qualifier match, Melee's Godslayer Leffen, a perennial member of the game's top 5 with the championship trophies to prove it, would find himself face to face with the world's greatest solo DK main. And despite an early lead in Game 1, his Fox would ultimately find unsure footing against the gargantuan gorilla.
And Leffen could be making mistakes, right? But if a Fox is on point with a punish game like Leffen's, then yeah, it's pretty messed up. DK's just too big of a target.
I remember last main stage, remember Ringler beat Dawn?
My mentality was basically just like, I'm pretty sure I can tilt you. I can either like make you scared or make you annoyed. And if I do one of those 2 things, the skew of this set changes drastically.
He's like asshole also. Yeah, it's real funny.
I definitely got him with a lot of shit.
Yeah, I think it's like, at the end of the day, it's all
And I'm surprised that missed, but he covered it.
Oh, he went too deep for that backhand.
He wanted it.
Okay, he was getting bodied, and now he ain't getting bodied no more.
Right.
Like, I got him with him just coming down on my up B, and it's like, why are you doing that?
He keeps catching. Okay, so Leffen got to stop doing that. He keeps going down, and every time Ringler has caught him with that LB. Shout out to Ringler, because every time I play at 10 p.m., I match up with this guy on that.
Okay.
Every time.
And then you know the crowd's gonna start getting loud too if it starts working out, right?
If Ringler takes this game, oh for sure. Okay, he's in knockdown.
Okay, wait.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yep. Oh, he missed it. Oh, yeah. Covers it. Keeps jumping it down. No, he doesn't go for it. That's smart actually. You gotta be careful with sometimes what I do, where's DK?
wait on the shield and then what? Yo, he's gonna get it. He's for sure. Oh, that hit through the platform. That's crazy.
That's dead.
No. Oh yeah, that's it.
That's a thing.
And then you know what that game does? Yeah. It strikes fear.
And then game 2, I was just like, I think I take the first stock and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I do not lose this game. And then I just didn't lose the game because I just never gave him enough momentum.
While Ringler squeezed by with a hairpin victory in Game 1, he looked dominant in Game 2.
Got a lot of wiggle room when you're behind.
Oh my goodness.
And he gets away with combos like this. It is like literally just a snowball effect.
Yeah,
against a character like this.
Leffen, I'm taking damage watching this.
Some of these up Bs though.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to use them. Okay.
Yeah, see.
Realizing that Fox simply wasn't working in this matchup, Leffen switched to Sheik, a character that he normally only reserves for Marth players.
And then Sheik, I was tired and scared because I was like, oh, I only need one more win.
Ooh, that was a little wavy, I'm not gonna lie.
By the time the dust had cleared, Leffen had won.
You're right. Okay. I didn't believe.
There was a moment, and I think it was Game 4. Yeah, it was Game 4 because it was the first Battlefield game. Last stock, Ringler gets a grab on Leffen, and they're both last stock. I think Leffen's maybe at 40. And there's like 2 considerations that I have there, which is that one, Ringler hasn't been killing off the grabs against Sheik. He hasn't been getting nearly as good like off grab punishes as he was against Fox. It's not really going anywhere. And B, I don't think Leffen mashed out of a single grab that entire set. He certainly wasn't doing some of the insanely fast mashes you'll see out of some other players. Leffen wasn't doing that. So what I really think Ringler should have done is just tried the classic Battlefield cheese where you just run off the stage and throw them into the ceiling on the other side of the stage. You just gotta try that. You just gotta cheese him. You're playing Donkey Kong. You're playing against like a top 5 player in the world. You just gotta go for it.
Oh, he gave up, bro. He can't give up. That's tough.
Ringler is still happy about it. You know, he took him to the brink.
It's one of those things like, damn, I think I'm going to regret that for the rest of my life. Like, it feels great.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, oh, man. You know, having a good season leading up to that, it's a lot easier to keep going because I'm like, well, I can get back there. Like, that doesn't have to be like the last time I play Leffen or whatever. And I still haven't played Zane. And I still really want to play Zane in tournament. But it is like, oh man. Oh.
Just a week and a half after Main Stage 2022, DK would make another stride in the SSBM metagame when Ranked Online was released to Melee's netplay client, Project Slippy.
Who's this? Oh, fuck me! Not this!
As stated earlier, 3 North American DKs would quickly rise to the leaderboard's highest ranks: Ringler, Akir, and Rishi. For Akir, a player known most for his online play, it was a chance to show just how far his Kong has come.
That was good.
So I started playing after I stumbled across EVO 2015 Grand Finals, trying to watch. There was a Counter-Strike tournament going on at the time. I was trying to watch it. I went on the Twitch, and I saw Super Smash Bros. Melee was at the top of the Twitch directory, and I was like, oh, hey, this is really neat. This is really cool. Let me go check it out. If you remember EVO 2015 Grand Finals, that was the one where Hungrybox planked Armada for 5 games and lost. And I watched that set, and I thought, man, Melee is so cool. Yeah. I can't wait to play Melee. I picked up Melee. I had an older brother who was kind of casually into the competitive scene, and we played together for a few months. I played Falco. I picked up Netplay. After like a year, I figured out I was better with Marth. The turning point that sent me to DK was back in, it must have been late 2016 now. There was a Netplay tournament where there was a player named Smash Daddy who, so he's been like PR'd in SoCal. At the time, he lived in North Carolina and he entered Netplay tournaments and he just like won like all the time. And there was a time we were playing in one of them and I was trying my usual stuff. I played like Marth and maybe like Fox or whoever. I was just like really tilted and I lost 2 games. After those 2 games, I just decided like I'm just going to try something completely random and out there. And I went Donkey Kong, who I had played in maybe one friendly session in my entire life up to that point, which I have done with every character. I'm just a character experiment. And I was like, I'm just going to play DK because I hate this and I want to try something else.
Smash Daddy would quickly take Akir's Donkey Kong to its last stock, but even as he gained more and more percent, the Kong held on, and eventually found a game-winning giant punch. Suddenly, Akir had the momentum.
And all of a sudden, this like best of 5 set where I went down 2-0 to this guy who was very obviously way better than me, all of a sudden was a 2-2 set, and he switched to his Sheik. And we had a really tight game 5 that I ended up losing, but I was like, dang, you know, that was a really close set against someone way better than me. I really got to try this Donkey Kong thing out. And I couldn't make him work for the longest time, like 2016 for like years thereafter. I just couldn't replicate the success I had. But I guess it would be around the time lockdown started because of COVID. I had an abundance of free time to spend on the game, and I came back to Donkey Kong. I really liked using him against Marth instead of the Ditto because I couldn't figure out the Ditto. Every counter pick I had ever tried for it didn't work. I was just really awful against other Marths, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to make DK work against other Marths. I hear that this matchup's decent. I like Donkey Kong, and it stuck. And then eventually over time, 2020, 2021, I worked on that.
In 2022, Akir would have to balance being a college student, working a job, and playing Melee competitively. He stopped playing Fox, Sheik, and Marth, and for a time, committed fully to Donkey Kong.
I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to try going all DK for the next semester. Just see how it goes, see if I can make this work, even though I'm limited on time. Just have fun with it. And it worked.
While Ringler was making big in-person wins for Donkey Kong, Akir remained primarily an online warrior, even after much of Melee's competition moved to the in-person space. Nonetheless, he would attend one in-person major in 2022, CEO Daytona, where he would go face-to-face against Melee's most infamous Floridian.
Hungry Box!
I don't really get to travel too much. I'm very much like an online warrior, and that situation was so like nerve-wracking for me. Like, I have never played Melee and like gotten nervous to the point where like my palms were sweating outside of like a game 5 last stock situation, except like I got up on that stage and before I even like started playing the set, like I was awful. I was a wreck.
I mean, so it's not a bad situation for HBox by any means. I think HBox are trying to get the cancel there before they're not going to KO.
No! Wait! Oh my god, what a perfect play.
At this point, Akir had come back to playing multiple characters, and primarily Marth. But after losing 2 games against the player who would that summer be ranked 4th in the world, Akir realized that the Prince's sword was not cutting it. The Kong was called off the bench, but when Akir changed character, so did Hungry Box.
Like a decent game. Ah, here it comes.
Oh,
there was an instant lock-in of not only DK but Ness. Both at the same time started to move their characters over.
Akir's Marth and Kong both would fail to conquer Hungrybox. But before summer's end, Akir would get a rematch against the Clutch Puff, and this time, it would be online.
We had a set at Galint like a month afterwards that went Game 5.
Better player. I can't tell you what DK is really going to be looking for here outside of things like down air. More applicable for him. He's just so big. He has so much hitbox to hit, and especially for someone like Puff, you know, you have to be very careful. But whiffing rest, ooh, he's gonna get clapped for that one. Yeah, if H-Box is whiffing these rests, Akir's looking ready to punish him. I mean, he's got a raw DK punch in neutral. The turnaround, absolutely wild.
Mode on him right now.
No card today.
No, definitely not. Oh, look at his movement on the platform. Akir looking crispy. The up B out of
He's just
shield,
looking fast.
setting him. Platform with the shield to drop back air, chucking a forward smash to kind of gate him off the edge there. Big fair land.
Some of these back airs set up the wall.
Where I'm at now, I'm kind of at a point where I'm pretty much all DK, not because of like some commitment to it because I don't have time, but just because he honestly feels like my best character finally. After many years of bashing my head into a wall trying to figure out how to get the monkey to work, I feel like I've developed enough brain trauma from bashing my head into said wall that I now have the monkey brain.
You're gonna have to dig real deep. It's actually so scary to get turned around like that. But he's able to get the edge cancel down air into up air. Who wins a back air war? A pink ball or a red flow?
I think we're about to find out, Seth.
Akir would make his mark online for the rest of the year with his mighty Kong, and when Slippy Ranked released in December, he would, for a brief amount of time, achieve the #1 in North America rank. In an era where characters like Dr. Mario, Link, and Young Link have seen some of their best results in years, it looked like DK was up next. Across the pond, many were already familiar with the power of Gorilla.
But Mo's so sick. Mo's so fucking cool, dude. Definitely like the prettiest DK.
Every country in the world has a 2-letter code used for its abbreviation, but only one has the abbreviation of DK. Perhaps it is fitting then that Denmark's best player is none other than Mo, a Donkey Kong main who has now held the title of best in the country for 3 years.
You should definitely look out for most use of the
How does that happen? How does a Donkey Kong main become #1?
It's funny because it's like a very isolated community to some degree. Like, we've been around Europe playing a bunch with other scenes, but the funny thing is that I've never felt my character has been holding me back, but that's, if you look at the other players in Denmark that have been dominating the Danish scene, like, the most dominating player was a Dr. Mario main. We had Dr. Mario dominate the scene for a very long time. We had Ice Climbers. The same guy that played Dr. Mario used to beat everyone with Young Link and Samus as well. So it's just been going from like Young Link to Samus to Ice Climbers to Dr. Mario and now DK.
Actually goes back. He doesn't want to fight him by the tree.
I mean, it gives Mo the punch, but with 2 stocks to 1 here, Mo at 100%.
Funny thing is, like, I started playing DK as well with like the funny intention of like, ooh, funny monkey does the funny aerial and the funny animation. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter, and a lot of my mains in Street Fighter have been kind of like burly low tiers, like E Honda and a little bit of Zangief and stuff like that. And I was like, I want to make this character work. I really want to make him work.
It's probably much like the same thing.
Holy moly, that is actually a great combo starter.
I started getting into like the more traditional FGC aspect of frame data and stuff like that. It's like try to analyze how I could optimize the character. The biggest weakness I thought at the point when I played him was the end lag and all of his aerials, down air, forward air, etc. He feels so laggy and so big. He was like, this character can't be fast at all. But if you actually check the stats of like character fall speed, dash length, run speed, aerial momentum, etc., Donkey Kong is like top 10.
I hope he's not gonna rely on them too much.
It's crazy. He's super fast. He has a super long dash dance. His double jump height, or like you said, full hop height is incredibly high. He has very good base stats. So I started just doing a lot of the movement stuff into edge canceling. So I just spam edge cancels. If you notice a lot of my games, I just do down air, edge cancel, back air, or back air, back air, back air. My biggest win that has been talked about is, but that 2019, but that's against Professor Pro.
And he gets hit by the up B. Prof scratches his face because he is down 3 stocks to 1. Scary situation for everyone here. Down throw, Prof gets the grab. Mo drops to the platform, stays safe.
Oh, he gets it!
Up air and he kills him off the top.
Let's go, Mo!
Mo beats Professor Pro, and we see Denmark popping off in the background.
I also, I think I have the clip on my phone. It's not in the YouTube bot, but there's a guy that does a backflip after a win.
Whoa!
Call out the jump. Insane tech. Once again, take back air. The tech chase, and this is the game.
I feel like what's not pushing DK far enough is that they're actually not good enough Donkey Kong players to actually push him that far. It's kind of like Amsa and Yoshi, or even Amada and Peach. We just don't really have the Donkey Kong player that's like so good that he's just storming through, or they're storming through. I remember seeing Rishi play against the Axe in the Donkey Kong Pikachu matchup, and he did a lot of like just super good neutral stuff, perfect dash dance, really nice back airs. But if he just had like the same amount of like lap time from Da or me or stuff like that, he would get so many more confirmed kills.
We've now met DKs from California, Florida, and even Denmark. And yet, the area most associated with Donkey Kong may just be the Great Lakes region, where DK play has a long and storied history that continues to this day.
The jump. That's it. All right, last stock. Oh, here we go. Joy going for a read on the roll. Oh no, this could be it. Good shorten, good shorten. Oh my god, this is so tense. They're both. No! The raw punch! Oh. The raw punch! Oh, it's the. Oh my! Up air. Oh my god!
According to some Midwest players, Donkey Kong's recent results were no coincidence. They were foretold. In 2016, Donkey Kong was struggling in Melee's meta, and many of today's DK greats were just getting started. Those who did play the character often did so as a joke, or with a hefty dollop of pessimism. In the midst of this atmosphere, a secretive group known as Project Silverback would form with an ambitious mission.
What I will say about Project Silverback is that it was really a collection of some of the greatest Melee minds I've personally ever known. Probably a lot of players that you've heard of or have discussed who will not come forward and say that they were a part of it. We were sort of a think tank or a brain trust of players who truly believed that DK has what it takes to win a national.
This project would take root in the heart of Chicago, but feature players from around the world.
So we started organizing in 2016 under the belief and credo of our founder, whose name will be omitted. And he firmly believed that all it would take is 7 years to catch up to the current meta and see Donkey Kong win a major. And I think a lot of us believe that. And some of the people who came in weren't vetted properly and thought it was a joke and made monkey memes, and they were pretty quickly kicked out. The general idea was just so that we could collaborate on new tech. We'd have twice weekly meetings, and we were all sworn to secrecies. We wanted to keep it selective because if you open up the sort of secret DK meta to everyone, it gets kind of jumbled and sent down the wrong path a lot of the time. And people get caught up on these really basic, like everybody just preaches up air, up air, up air. And that's not what we were about. We were about finding uses and implementations for tools that no one was using. Because obviously, up air, up air, up air on Fox is good, right? But that's not going to carry DK to a major win. That's a crutch. That's something we had to move past. We predicted that in 7 years there would be a major DK renaissance, and right on the clock, here we are, looking at the resurgence of the gorilla himself.
When DK's moment would finally come, the Midwest would not be left out of it.
I don't know that much about Quang. Who is that guy?
In late 2014, a player who has been known under the names Quang, Tentpoles, and Kyle McNudator would start playing Melee and make a quick rise in the Michigan scene.
So the first time I saw Quang play, he was an Ice Climbers player that pulled out Fox for like Samus. Within 6 months of playing Ice Climbers, he took a tournament off of KJH, or not a tournament, I think a set, and then he switched to Fox for a bit. Instead of having Fox as like a counter pick, he was just playing Fox for a while. And I think he got bored of playing because he would just play like pretty close to where he lived. It was like 2019, I think. He was not top 100, and it was kind of ludicrous because if you look at Quang's wins, they're much better than the 100 to 91. He would go to like the Michigan weekly tourneys. He would just like go random and win those tourneys.
In 2020, the Ices main turned Fox main would decide to once again switch characters. He was no longer trying to take the game as seriously, and felt that Donkey Kong would be a lower maintenance character to play. This reinvigorated Kyle McNudator would play mostly on unranked and in doubles lobbies during Melee's online era, and never enter a formal tournament bracket.
No, it's over, dude.
But once in-person events returned, the DK became a Midwest hidden boss of sorts, appearing for the occasional event once in a blue moon, beating strong players, and then disappearing without a trace.
Sometimes Quang's just like, hey, I won't be online for a while, and then he'll be offline for like 32 days, and then he'll just come back. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows. Sometimes he's just like, I haven't played Melee in 3 months and I got on unranked and beat SFAT or something. Not SFAT. SFAT's too good for that, but...
He shows up every couple months and just like destroys everyone with DK. He went from like fringe top 100 with Fox and Ices, and then he just decided to switch to DK and did not like, his results didn't get any worse. Arguably they're better now. Like right before December hit, he won like our monthly.
Quang said GG's. Congratulations to Quang.
Woo! Sweep Me 5 champion.
The crowd's going crazy.
When you see him play Donkey Kong, he just like gets so many more grabs than all of them. Just in random scramble situations, he's just really good at just getting random grabs.
I think he's just like kind of moved on from the game, like in some way. He's still one of the top reps of the character. He's still very good, obviously, so he's a helpful resource just to watch.
For most of 2021 and 2022, the Quang DK would only attend smaller events. There would be one notable exception to that in 2022, however, when he attended Michigan and the Midwest's largest Smash Bros. Tournament. From October 7th through 9th, 2022, Melee's, quote, most stacked tournament of all time, the Big House 10, would bring over 900 SSBM gamers to Detroit. At that event, in round 2 pools, a strangely named Ape would make a splash. Kyle McNudator would lose 2-0 to Melee God Mango in round 2 pools. But in losers, he would take down MDVA Chic Juicebox and go to Game 5 last hit against Kalamazoo, one of Melee's best Peach players, before falling at 65th. Notably outperforming Ringler. The whispers around Kyle McNudator would only get louder, with an increasing number of players, especially in the Midwest, saying that he was the best Donkey Kong in the world. When the Michigan Kong signed up for Melee's biggest event of 2023, Genesis 9, many were expecting him to make some big upsets.
First of all, I have 2 questions. First of all, there's a Donkey Kong mystery. That's crazy. It's a close game 1.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. We can talk about
Sekil McNudator.
Sekil McNudator.
Yeah.
We got Sekil McNudator on the Donkey Kong. Used to be known as Quang.
In the event's Friday doubles bracket, Kyle McNudator alongside Marth player Grab would lose in round 2 pools to Justice and Salt, but on the event's stream, make a win over Wills and Panko. In the process, turning more heads towards the Kong.
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I'd love to ask
Sekil McNudator.
I want to ask him. We could. This is a couch style, right?
Oh.
I'm gonna ask him.
As the team seeded to place 50th in the doubles competition, Grab and Quang would finish 25th. The next day in singles, the DK player was seeded to play against Bobby Big Balls, a player with a well-documented DK problem who was now ranked 34th in the world.
Let's go, Bobby.
Quang was able to take a 3-1 victory over BBB. Part of this was likely due to BBB's lack of counterplay to the Donkey Kong's grabs. In multiple games of the set, the DK main would find a grab, use cargo up throw, and then re-grab and cargo up throw again, creating a chain grab that Donkey Kong mains have told me is not actually true. Falco can DI out of these throws and jump out of them, but because Bobby Big Balls never did so, Quang would continue to go for these grabs and succeed. This allowed the DK player to continue to rack up extra percentage throughout the set. With a cheering Michigan crowd behind him, the Kong would go on to face Joji, a player formerly known as Milkman, in a top 64 winner's side qualifier.
Like playing it really, really safe, and then like punishing DK for any bad, like, I don't know, grab attempts or that kind of thing.
Because I feel like that's going to be a really scary position for the DK to get in. You want to keep your feet glued to the floor until you get that cargo throw, and just like you said, Zoo, here we go. Oh.
Okay, great DI there from Joji.
Obviously matter in every matchup, but for this character in particular, being below 100 is really, really important for get-up attack, because it just kind of eliminates another option that DK has on the table, but that's going to be a kill. First on the board.
For the cipher solvers out there.
Yeah, you need Rosetta Stone for that. Okay, no regrab there. Yeah, able to jump out in time.
Yeah, all of this is just from that one up air. Still keeping it going, so really, really impressive stuff. Yeah, saw the air dodge there, but you know, no punish. Oh, sneaky recovery from Quang yet again. Oh, Joji adapts this time. Yeah, DK shield not great. Okay,
cargo throw, you can walk towards the center.
Oh, this is big. And he's got the charge. That might be it. I think that's it.
He's the best DK in the world.
In game 2, Kyle McNadator managed to come back from a stock deficit, and after racking up a little damage, put Joji in an edgeguard situation. It looked like the game was his. Until suddenly, it wasn't.
Up B again, okay.
Oh, the cloud. Ooh, I think that's gonna be it.
Wow, that was stolen valor for Joji. Joji lands behind him, up B kind of thing.
Right.
Oh, you're gross. Do it.
Oh my
He's
god.
dead.
That covered so much.
Game 3 would swing heavily towards the DK player, but tragedy would strike again in Game 4.
The air options seem to be more or less covered by that grounded up B, as just, it'll straight up kill at this point. But now it's 0 again. We'll see if Quang can find an opening. No! Tragic.
For the killer. Okay, well, I'm not, okay, yeah, I respect that effort, but, and, okay, so one more chance from Quang. Yeah, tournament winner, gonna clean that up.
The gas, especially when Quang has shown he can kill you in one grab.
Right, and I think Joji's still executing the plan perfectly, honestly. Like, hasn't given up anything so far. Still at 34%. Okay, has been a little bit weak to those just, like, running forward airs, which is such a slow move, but...
Not quite. Next
not
one kills.
Yet. Okay, back air.
Quang needs to just kind of needle and just slowly get in. Joji's not giving him anything. Slow get up as well.
Nice from Joji.
Failing to defeat Joji, Kyle Micnidator would be vanquished into the loser's bracket, where he would face another top 100 player, Marthmain Calvar. In a Game 5 set, the Donkey Kong would leave victorious. DK had officially made top 64 at Melee's biggest major. Unfortunately, this would be where the run ended, as Kyle Micnidator would fail to defeat the real thing, an Ohio Falco who, according to one stat-keeping system, has never lost to Donkey Kong. Finishing in 48th place, he would be going home with 2 top 100 wins. For some, this settled it. Quang, aka Tentpoles, aka Kyle Micnidator, was the best Donkey Kong in the world. And certainly nothing would happen in the immediate future to contradict that.
I enter the Richmond scene brackets a lot, and this guy, this fucking guy Junebug, has been terrorizing us for the past 6 months or so with his DK, which was ranked #1 in the sub-region. This thing is probably the best DK right now, if I had to guess.
I can't wait. Is that dude LDI? That's him.
If we currently are in Melee's Donkey Kong renaissance, 2022 may have just been the rebirth of competitive Dr. Mario. In 2014, Dr. Mario's greatest player of all time, Shroomed, would start playing mostly Sheik and Marth. With his dock, he had been considered at one point the 7th best Melee player in the world, but over time, players in his region had adapted to his dock, and learned to abuse the character's shortcomings. Continuing to the present day, Shroomed has remained a high-level player, but his dock has all but disappeared. After Shroomed switched mains, Dr. Mario would be a nearly forgotten character in top-level Melee. It seemed as if the aforementioned NorCal player had done all the character could do, and contemporary Melee players were simply too strong now for the mid-tier to ever find success again. In 2019, SoCal dock main Franz would be ranked 82nd on Melee's top 100, the first time a dock main had made it onto the game's global rankings in 5 years.
Oh, France wants to say something. You can't disrespect me, Lucky. Oh, he gets the back air, though. You can't disrespect me, Lucky.
3 years later, he would prove that this was no fluke. At multiple events that year, Franz and his mid-tier would take home big wins. He would end 2022 ranked 45th in the world. Doc's resurgence did not stop there. Players like Chicago's Q and the Netherlands Skullbro have found success in their respective regions. And in 2022, another Dr. Mario would emerge from the shadows for a deep run at a mid-year Melee major. Virginia Smasher Junebug, a respected Project M Diddy Kong, Brawl Lucario, and Melee Sheik, would enter Vegas Major Double Down 2022 with Dr. Mario, partially as research for a video he was working on. In a startling run through the event's bracket, he would finish at 13th place. Afterwards, Junebug would mostly stop playing Doc, at least in the public eye. There were rumors that he had moved on to another character, Donkey Kong. Junebug's Smash character videos generally center on a Melee mid-tier and how they were changed when adapted to Brawl Mod Project M. Junebug's research for these projects involves committing himself exclusively to these characters in Melee NPM for months at a time. And with June already having top-level experience in Project M, Melee, and even Brawl as a player, coach, and analyst, these characters have been able to take sets off of some of Melee's finest.
Normally, I would play the character for about 3 to 6 months. I think Doc ended up being 8 months total, and I want to say, I don't know how many months it was when I entered Double Down. I want to say anywhere between 2 and 6. But I had a few months, like half a year for sure, between the Mario Bros. And they play very similarly.
Okay, here we go. Here's a little bit of a pillar situation going.
Oh, okay, doesn't get the roll in.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
So for other characters like my Ganon, my Roy, my Mewtwo, I'd kind of entered tournaments here and there, just like online tournaments or locals. My Mewtwo, infamously, it has some lore in Southern Virginia. My Mewtwo is called the Champ, and the Champ has taken games off some respected people. It's taken sets even off some of the crowd favorites in MDVA. The Champ 2 is my Donkey Kong, and it just started as me entering locals. I ended up getting rank 1 in my sub-region, Richmond, in Virginia, with the Champ 2. And then there was this regional crew battle at the M series.
Looks like we got DK versus Sheik.
Richmond people were trying to get me to go, and I was like, you know what, I should go, have a good time. And there was P+ there too, and just see how the Champ does in singles when competing against some of MDVA's best. I will say I had the most fun winning crews at that tournament.
States.
Now, who does Richmond send against the Falco, in your opinion? We could just send
Timmy probably. But they probably don't want Timmy to get counterpicked by Dawson.
Okay.
So yeah, this makes
Junebug's
sense.
coming in.
Oh, the Champ. Okay,
hold on now.
The Champ! Grab number 2! He yeeted him!
The winner of crews each got $100. So like everybody from the Richmond crew just got $100. So every stock, I was like, okay, one more stock and we all win.
Okay, whoever this is, they seem pretty technical.
Yeah.
Or they're just not scared of the DK. Yes, yes.
Oh my god, he opened up with down B.
Wait!
If this ends in a stock. Oh, it doesn't end in a stock. Oh my goodness.
Nice multi-shots. Check this DK down B.
The last crew battle, I took 10 stocks as Donkey Kong.
They are not searching up these VODs.
Yes, sabotage the VODs. I mean, honestly, wow.
Is that it?
Yeah, a B.
One more? Okay, just go back here to finish it. Yeah, nice.
They sent in Spaceys and they got destroyed, so they needed to send in the Puffs. But then one of them got destroyed.
From above. Yeah, DK's got off here.
Let's see. Getting off the ledge here looks kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what is that? 6 stocks from DK?
6 stocks, yeah. I was saying.
Were you
I was saying a couple things.
6? No way. Another stock.
Every single stock I was popping off internally. I popped off externally.
I hope this is it. Like I hope we don't say we. Let's go. Oh my god.
Yeah, you need to
go high. Go high. Oh. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Okay.
Oh my god, I thought that was it. Oh my god. We're both literally holding our breath, leaning towards the monitor.
Oh my god.
The Champ!
Dawson was sent in finally to clean me up.
Oh my god, the Champ! No, the slap! How can he slap? How can he slap? This is... Oh my god, I'm hysterical.
No!
No way! No way! Oh my god!
With heaps of help from Junebug's ace Ape, Richmond would take home a hefty victory over Team Philly in the crew battle tournament. Those who had laughed at the idea of a sub-region's best player maining Donkey Kong were now dead silent, and soon, June's Donkey Kong would go on a gallop through the tournament's singles bracket.
Junebug versus Juicebox.
Dude, Junebug anytime he's on the stream is like off the stream.
Alright, so this is one of the reasons why the matchup isn't so horrible, as obvious, and that upbeat should close it out.
Let's go, Junebug.
Alright. Hey, no bias. Okay,
No bias.
So, Junebug just can charge the giant punch.
You got a 12 blind punch. That's secret tech.
And that should do it.
What?
Yeah, off the top.
I remember vividly trying to what is it? Chain grab.
Now this could just make it the ledge.
Oh, going for the
cheekiest neutral beat.
The rawest punch of all time.
All right, should be up for a fair.
Yep.
That will kill off the top. Wow.
Closes it out.
That should be a down tilt
But
fair.
it's not over. It's not close to over. Oh, it's not over.
Yeah, it's so hard to cover that. I mean, DK's arms are intangible when he upbeats, for those of you who don't know. So you can't really snipe him from the ledge like that. You really just
I
have
think
to
that was
grab
attempted
ledge
the
or
reverse.
Get, like, on top of his head. Alright. Yeah, Juicebox just trying to contest his upbeat. Really, he just needs a couple up airs into a grab, and it should kill. But that forward tilt is going to close it out. Forward tilt up air. Bug on the ledge here. Looks like Tom's
I
figured
feel
out a little
like,
bit more of a game plan.
has really. What?
I can't believe that's spotted.
Monkey is so large.
Alright.
Oh my god, wait.
Down,
I feel like.
This should close it out. Juicebox,
Oh, that's gotta be
SCI
dead.
up
Yep.
there, and that is gonna close it out.
And dies off the top, so Junebug gets the punch back. Wow, I feel like we are
back air into the corner. Atomic kill percent.
Oh, the Yoshi down smash saving him.
Junebug not down towards plat. That time he's gonna try, but it doesn't really work out for him. Needle should close it out.
And that's it. All right.
All right, here we are with the #1 player from the region, MDVA, Junebug. Lucario main.
I've competed for a really long time and like gone on and off with competing. It's actually nice to only do it once in a while because I feel like I get to store up all this potential energy, this pent up energy, and then there's like a chance for this run to happen.
Junebug's winners game. It just feels like Juicebox has figured out the matchup a little. You know,
Yeah.
He's walling DK out. He's going for CC. You know, unfortunate SD there.
I think
Juicebox. I think Juicebox off the ledge.
Yeah. It's like good, but it's not that good.
Yeah.
Oh, the little full. Look at how he hits with his whole body. His little tiny monkey legs.
I think he built 4% of those kind of attacks that Juicebox did.
I think you're right.
Particularly down.
Oh, he does it.
Well, a little bit of commentator's curse there.
Listen, I just want to see the monkey slide.
Juicebox is in kill percent. Should be down air here into a giant punch that is going to close it out. So hard. It's close. And,
oh my god, he gets it. Okay, but he upbeats off the ledge and then he loses his punch.
And then you spot dodge most of the time thinking he's going to.
I feel like if I was competing every week or month, it just would be way more exhausting and way less likely for me to do something like this because I remember that being harder when I was constantly competing.
And this is winner stock for the champ, the terror of Richmond.
Let's go. Let's see, goes for grab. This should be a kill.
That's a kill. Wow.
So tense. Alright, Fox gets the grab. A lot of percent.
Wow. Oh, but he hits the needle, so he still has the punch. There's like hope left. It's like not over.
Junebug falling with these down airs.
Oh
That's
my
not
god.
gonna do it. Yeah, it won't connect. And the back air should close it out.
Is this gonna be the set?
Easy back air for.
Oh, Junebug has one more.
The fair gonna send him in the wrong direction.
He gets a ledge.
And
oh my god, and now
cargo
the
throw
CC
is gonna kill here.
That's
This is
gonna
gonna
be
kill.
it. That's gonna be it.
Oh no! It's the sweet spot, but the back air should do it.
Wow!
Insane comeback from Junebug.
So I like just having this goal of being like, oh yeah, let's see how I do. And if I do well, it's cool. And if I don't do well, it's also cool.
We find ourselves in a gritty game 5 on Dreamland.
So there are some trade-offs. Let's see, forward tilt fair. Yeah,
we're just back to our regularly scheduled programming, folks.
It's crazy how it's just Juicebox gets an opening, gets an extended edge guard sequence. Somehow Junebug gets back, gets a reversal. He's the one who's able to bait out Junebug. Oh, I
my
love the slide off there from Juicebox.
What?
And now
you
he
gotta
gets a chain grab.
You're Junebug. You gotta grab, and now you're taking 50%.
All right, this should be a giant punch.
Yep,
That's
punch, but it's not gonna kill.
And the strength of Dreamland here.
Oh, what a response!
Junebug doing a very good job of keeping the stock alive. So goes for the stall there, but a little
Tom's
too
just
shallow
ready.
grab.
Oh my God, what a bait!
What looked impossible before is looking way more doable. Okay, but Juicebox does need to close out this episode.
Okay,
He is gonna get it.
I mean...
No, Junebug lives, but he's not going to be able to make it back to stage.
I mean, but we've seen this gameplay. We know it's far from over here.
All right, let's see. Just one grab should do it here.
He's got the punch. He got the punch kind of for free. Oh my God, that catches the jump out.
Oh, great spot
the spot dodge.
And
he calls out the double roll.
Just goes for the clean percent.
Oh,
all right.
That's not death, is it?
That's not going to kill. Would like to see Junebug experiment with turning DK around, mess up the.
Oh no!
And, he doesn't have
That's so tragic.
All right, let's see. Goes for the up air. That's not going to
kill. That kills. That kills.
Wow. All right.
66. This is percent the DK can make up, man.
Just one grab. All right, four tilt fair. Oh,
those needles are so big.
Now he up he lost his punch.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, but he's on the stage at least. He sacrificed his punch, but
gets his grab. Oh
my God.
Reads the double jump.
He reads the double. Wait, does. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's a fair. It doesn't connect.
Oh my God. The down tilt, but it doesn't.
The fair doesn't
connect. DBZ. And Tom's on the ledge.
Oh.
Clips the. But it's a slow get, but it's an up B! Wait, what the heck?
The back
oh my
air.
God!
All right, okay.
Oh my
this
God!
Should be an easy edge guard for Junebug. Just get up, slow get up, and the up B is gonna close it out. Junebug with the insane comeback.
Oh my God!
After an insane Game 5 clutch over Juicebox, Junebug's DK was in winner's quarters. There he would have to face the event's top seed, Peach Main Polish, who had recently also started playing Fox.
If he gets a fair on somebody, on a Fox, like, there's a 50 chance, 50 chance
be dead.
You're just dead. And that makes fair way scarier than my fair, you know? Oh my God, it's just dead. That's one of my least favorite things, like, 45 degree, ooh.
9 is definitely though.
That doesn't
and it's
make
like noticeably stronger. It's very strong.
Really?
If you do a 9 swing on like Yoshi's, if you get a grab, you're just dead.
Punch.
Yeah.
Polish's Fox failed to make a dent. So, down 0-2 in the best of 5 set, the Pittsburgh player pulled out the Peach.
It has been looking kind of rough.
It's been looking a little rough.
But, I hear a Peach. Okay. All right.
People are saying that's not like a terrible matchup for Donkey Kong, and I'm like, I think I'm very bad against Peach with all my characters, so I'm hesitant to say that Donkey Kong does well against Peach, because I'm like, dude, this seems way harder than Peach Sheik, and I already didn't like that winning matchup.
not the start June wanted.
Yeah, that's a rough Game 5 start. June is. I think they're probably talking about June is.
Should be replayed IMO.
Yeah.
Polish's Peach did the job their Fox could not. So, June's DK was banished to the losers bracket. There, Junebug would face another Peach player, Richmond's own Mom, and squeak by with a 3-2 victory. He would then take a 3-1 victory over Crike. In losers quarterfinals, Junebug would then face an outspoken DK hater who, yet again, played Peach, Malachi, the player also known as Mog.
Me and Mog are we have some friendly banter.
There we go. And Junebug is about as near to death Malachi's Peach.
Mog and shit talking by Donkey Kong, or Donkey Kong specifically. I think it wasn't related to me. He's like, there's no way Donkey Kong can be good. I'm gonna shit on your Donkey Kong. And so this had been hyped up for months.
Pretty down to the wire. DK can kind of just pop a back air. Does he get combos? It's getting to a percent where I don't know. Wow.
Damn, a resounding back air. DK.
Unfortunate game one for Malachi.
Hold his hands over his head.
We were actually gonna do like a $20 money match or something at that event, but we just ended up playing in tournament instead.
DK has probably some of the most ridiculous moves I've ever seen. They are gigantic.
Nice kill. Killing at 192 finally.
I will say he is very good at that matchup. He does not respect Donkey Kong at all, and it works.
Parasol hit there. Big kill. Last stock. Junebug's got the punch. Oh, that's
it's
it.
actually game.
Amazing turn of play. He just gives him the bird. Junebug chuckling.
He's got the butt of the bird in him.
We know it's all in good fun, but Malachi genuinely, I think, probably despises this Donkey Kong.
Mog plays Peach so differently. He's got his own crazy style.
Yeah.
That is
nice. And
the down smash.
Barely living.
Always gotta watch out for the down smash. He's just trading him out of the corner. He's not winning these corner situations, but he is because
this is Junebug's chance.
Oh,
he escapes. 170.
He actually put it all on black on that.
Getting around even the turn up too. That's it.
Wow.
74% though. Amazing play by Junebug to bring this back to even.
Oh my goodness. He's got that monkey punch. Oh, this is not a good spot for Malachi here.
Oh.
That keeps catching. He's using that as an anti-air.
Junebug's turning back on.
Because Mog is landing so aggressively. Oh, he wants that down
The Junebug wants to pop him.
Okay, the monkey punch gone is huge though, because that means he can't kill him off up throw. Okay, well he charged it back.
Yeah, literally he's unconcerned with sharking Malachi because he just wants to either get the punch or he wants to
but he
up throw.
sacrificed that sharking opportunity for the
Oh, yo, the tomahawk punch.
That was actually a crazy tomahawk.
Malachi is trying so hard to control himself right now. He is aghast.
After getting pushed into a Game 5 scenario, Malachi would take Junebug to Dreamland, a stage where killing Peach is notoriously difficult. Malachi would take a massive early lead, but Junebug would whittle it away.
Last stocks, Game 5. Oh, the third down smash! I was telling you about it earlier. I getting a grab and kill Malachi now.
Come on, Wizzies. Come on, Wizzies. Come on, Wizzies! Oh my goodness. He's punishing his over-aggression. He wants that aggressive mix-up to end the game.
Junebug's playing so safe right now. Amazing fade back.
Oh, he's punishing all.
That's it.
He overextended. He just kept overextending.
Oh, and there we go. Junebug clutching out a game 5 set versus Malachi. And Junebug popping off, hugging it out though.
With his last stock clutch over Malachi, Junebug was now set to rematch Polish in losers semifinals. With 2 Peaches already left beaten in the Ape's wake, perhaps this time the matchup could go DK's way.
Yeah, I went through the Peach gauntlet.
This is incredible that I'm watching this.
DK up B is like Martha in that only good people know how to use it.
Yeah.
No one else even tries.
I wouldn't even begin. But it looks so easy to use. It just looks like a big fat hitbox. Oh! That was the lights out punch.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, Polish.
Oh, no, but this is a recovery.
I love the attempted fair.
That's Jed. Yep.
Me and Polish talked after both of our sets, and they said, you know, it was a good set, but they didn't know some matchup intricacies. Like,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, save that one, man. We're gonna be seeing. We might be seeing.
They still think they got outplayed in several ways.
Dude.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
God. He's definitely looking warm versus Peach.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh. Wait, but that's. I think next up air kills, or it's getting close.
In the top 7, 8 characters in Melee, a lot of the interactions are labbed out, and people have like years of muscle memory just dealing with Fox Nearshine or Falco lasers.
That had a reverse that killed him.
Dude.
Oh, he's up being over and over.
It's dead.
See, Donkey Kong up Bs you and your world breaks.
Alright. We're watching. Oh my God.
Oh, I love.
Went for the same thing as earlier.
If you went a little, I think that worked. Oh
no!
What's that?
No! No way!
No.
Oh my God!
Oh, dude.
Wow.
That's insane.
I'm catatonic.
The world's gonna know about the champ too.
Top 3.
Junebug took it over Polish with a defiant 3-1, meaning he was now set to play Joji, the Richmond Fox who had slain Quang just 1 week prior.
We had played once before at a tournament, and I had won 3-2 and 3-1 in winners finals and grands. Corey was not pleased with Donkey Kong and we had not played more Fox Donkey Kong since that set. I don't think I was playing well at that point in the tournament. I think I might have ran out of gas, and then he was also not playing well. And in Fox Donkey Kong, when both players aren't playing well, the one that kills you in one grab wins.
Oh wow!
Oh, Randall!
That was actually, I feel like, a really risky neutral interaction. Oh, for sure. Oh, here we go. Oh, that could have been a wave shine.
Guy? No.
All right. Yeah. Oh God, he's nervous. And June is DK.
Oh no!
Oh God.
Oh no!
Oh God.
This could be it.
Yeah, do it. Shine stall. Yep.
Oh!
I guess it's really important that you don't get CC grabbed by DK like what just happened. Also, the match seems to be very valuable.
No way!
That was ridiculous.
I was like, yo, I gotta go soon, and June's like, look, he's
Hey, is this what you wanted to see?
Did the time.
He's like, why can nobody beat me? I don't understand.
Okay, so we are one set closer to the reality of Junebug winning M Series.
A week after Quang had top 64'd at Genesis, just over a month after DK had climbed to ranked Melee's highest tier, and less than 2 months after Ringler had destroyed Leffen's Fox, Donkey Kong was in grand finals of a 132-person Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament. And Junebug had beaten 2 current top 100 players, as well as 2 former top 100 players in the process. However, this would be where the run would end.
Yeah, I'm 29, man. I don't have much endurance anymore.
Exhausted, Junebug would fall to Virginia Fox Kevin Maples.
Right? Like, you can just tell it's really low quality.
That's it, Kevin Maples wins that series!
Wow. Unbelievable. History was not made today, folks. Yes.
Junebug would shortly afterwards take to Twitter and state that he was not the best Donkey Kong player. He was just good at Smash Bros. And Donkey Kong was a strong character in the right hands. The fact of the matter is that this was just a glimpse of what the character is capable of. Junebug played a less technical DK than Mo or Akir, but he was still able to go toe-to-toe with high-level players.
I think Donkey Kong has a lot of potential. I still can't do all the 20 DK, 20 DA stuff Da's doing. And I feel like that pushes DK to another level. And I think Rishi's doing, I think all the DKs are doing stuff. There's not a super DK yet. Like, the thing that differentiated J-Mook from all the Sheiks is that he actually took stuff from all the top Sheiks and like became this amalgam. And it was amazing.
Hey, I ain't got nothing to say, man. What's understood don't need to be explained, bro. Yo, he's just really like that. I'm telling you, look at this.
This is not okay. This is not okay.
I don't need him to win a major. Like, can he? Sure, what if everyone DQs? You know, like, what if the rapture happens and only DKs are left behind?
Right now, we have several DKs doing really well with unique playstyles. And eventually, there is going to be an amalgam DK that just shits on people.
If a player like, now I mentioned Amsa again, or even like Sane or whatever, just played Donkey Kong instead of their respective character, Donkey Kong would be even higher. It's just not like the best Donkey Kong player isn't found yet. The really good Donkey Kong player that's just destroying people with the character and like showing what the character really can do isn't found yet.
I think a big benchmark for a character is like, would you be able to win a tournament going just that character? And I think DK falls into like a decently sizable list of characters who are, it's like, maybe you couldn't do the hardest possible DK bracket, but I could very honestly like see a path to victory happening in a bracket that is entirely doable for DK.
If you asked me 3 years ago, I would say no. But the more I've been playing, the more I've seen other Donkey Kongs play, the more I'm leaning towards yes. I'm seeing like more strength from DK and like more vulnerability from some of these top players. The better I'm getting myself, the more vulnerable or the more I relate to the top players, as I can see what they're actually looking for and going for. So I would say the short answer is yes. Yeah. DK can actually win a major. I would hope it, like, I do it. I just don't know who it is or when it is going to be, but I would not put it out of the equation.
Many of the DKs I spoke to for this project were optimistic about the character up to the top level, but others disagreed. Even after making one of the character's best major performances at Genesis, the Kong known as Kyle McNadator told me that the character relies too much on preying on mistakes against top tiers to be viable at a top 20 level. But if players stopped making mistakes versus DK, the Simian would struggle. Still, with other lower tier characters seeing more success, others told me that they don't see things that way.
There's like this general sentiment that characters are just like dog shit or bad. And if you dismiss the entirety of a character like that, you're not going to actually understand how they work or how their tools work.
I saw a set between, I think it was Ringler and Mega Christmas or Mega Xmas, and Ringler won, and people will be like, oh yeah, Ringler's pretty tight. Like beating such a good player, even though he's not like top 100 in the world, or I don't know where Mega Xmas is now, but people will still just believe that it's because the Falco player is worse than the DK player rather than the character actually having the potential.
Even if people learn a matchup, it's not going to invalidate that character. That's kind of how people used to think about low and mid tier. So you just do X and you can invalidate the character. But that assumes like a lack of autonomy or even sentience from your opponent. If I'm playing against somebody and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna full hop back air, and that a DK just loses the full hop back air, on the second or third full hop back air, I'm gonna crouch cancel, grab it, and kill them.
get a clean hit.
Oh, okay.
Misses the forward air.
Oh, I saw it, dude.
And gets kind of reversal like Jordan. Oh,
Oh,
big.
that's it.
And that's
Akko
his
takes
tournament.
it.
And Akko defends New York
With
City.
Link.
Take like Aklo's Link. How long has he been like terrorizing Marth players with his Link for at this point? You know, it is a known quantity. It's not like he's pulling this out and you haven't had time to get ready for it. It's like, this is like the 8th time he's going Link against you. If you don't know how to deal with it, that's not cheese. That's like, that's on you, you know? And that's the big thing, is that like I can see calling it cheese, you know, like even the first few times around, not just the first time around. But there's gotta be a point where someone's been doing something against you for like 2 years plus, and you're still calling it cheese, and it's like, okay, you know, maybe you gotta figure this out first, and then you can call it cheese.
DK's new status in SSBM has not come without conflict. In 2022, after becoming a top 50 player and known Smash personality, Captain Falconmane Mech made an unorthodox decision. At the end of the year, he made a 12-month commitment to Ganondorf. Since then, his Ganon has taken some devastating wins over players like Shabo and, yes, Bobby Big Balls. But this Ganon has also been dismantling Donkey Kongs.
Frosted Hair is amazing.
Really good
Silken.
hair. Silky, smooth hair. Oh no.
For much of Melee's history, Ganon has been seen as a better character than DK, with players like Kage and Nun giving the villain breakout performances over the years. But with the reappraisal of Donkey Kong ongoing, many have turned their ire to Ganondorf.
I think the meme of Ganon spread easier than the meme of DK. There have always been Ganon mains since the dawn of time. And there haven't really always been DK mains. Ganon is very upfront with what he's good at. Ganon hits you really, really hard, and you only need to hit someone like 6 times per stock. I think DK's ability is more obfuscated than Ganon's. You really have to practice and grind this punish game, but Ganon just makes sense. You see the appeal of Ganon instantly.
In February of 2023, Mech responded to the tension between DK and Ganondorf players by calling for a 5v5 Ganon vs. Donkey Kong crew battle.
A Ganondorf Donkey Kong crew battle will be happening this year. All of the best Ganondorfs versus all of the best Donkey Kong players. Lots of money on the line.
Tournament organizer D Wall has already offered to put up $5,000 for the crew battle, and Mech says there will be attempts to fly out players who normally don't travel, including potentially Mo, a player who's never been to the US. For now, the crew battle is planned to occur at Get On My Level 2023 this July in Toronto. That said, fans of DK need not wait that long to see the Ape in action on the big stage. Akir, Junebug, and Rishi will all be attending Collision 2023, a major tournament set to run from March 10th through 12th, 2023 in New Jersey. The future of DK from there on is, as it has been before, uncertain. Ringler took a break from competition at the beginning of 2023, though he says he still has plans to attend tournaments if they interest him and if he has friends going. Quang's attendance of events will likely be sporadic as ever going into the future. Mo will be attending UK event Avant La Fête this year, but is still hoping someone will help fund his way into a North American event. Akir says Collision will likely be his only chance this year to travel, and Junebug has already started entering some events with the Champ 3, his young Link. Rishi, whose video Can Donkey Kong Win a Major arguably kickstarted today's DK era, still mostly plays the character as a secondary. Still, if there's one great ape that these players can point to as a sign for a bright future, it's Da. The quick-fingered labbing Kong who is building what they believe to be the real future of the character.
Da is just the future. Like, Da is just going to leave us all old and decrepit while they're gaming to the highest degree. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. The inevitability of Da being number one. There's nothing anyone can do.
When Mech started taking exhibition matches against DK players on his stream last month, Da took up the mantle and gave the Ganon a glimpse of what DK's future may look like. Da has only played for a few years. They actually started playing Melee during the pandemic, but their growth has been exponential. Their approach to DK, they say, has been one focused on self-improvement, and DK has gotten them through hard times. There's a detail about the stretch of time from December into March of 2023 that I forgot to mention earlier, but it feels like I should probably address it. 2022 was marked by 2 Smash circuits, Panda Cup and the Smash World Tour, which both shut down. At the end of this February, Beyond the Summit, an institution in Smash esports, also announced that they were more or less ceasing operations. DK is a character that has been synonymous with the grassroots, with local scenes, with Melee as a social game. So perhaps his era came just now for a reason. Maybe at this point in Smash history, Donkey Kong is here, not to punish us, not to save us, but to help weather the storm.
And I think something with Donkey Kong, what I've noticed with him, right? This is something that I've noticed, especially with Donkey Kong more than other characters. I feel like he's there for you in terms of trauma. I feel like there's something in terms of his aesthetic. It's just like this great big goofy character.
He just wants to give you a hug.
Yeah, he wants to give you a hug. He wants to grab you, but he wants to defend his friends, like going out and smacking people with his forward tilt or whatever. He'll protect himself with his like little down B or whatever. I think there's something about the aesthetic of Donkey Kong and what it represents to people that I think is just very comforting in times of uncertainty. And I just think like what he represents and sort of what he like it's sort of like playing DK has become this thing. It's like a little like everyone's huddling together like playing DK or whatever. You got Chicago making videos on how much the region loves DKs. You got Marth players with DKs that are somehow as good as their Marth. We're kind of in a DK era.
Complain about DK so I can clip it for my next video. That would be cool. Donkey Kong is the lamest character in the game.